This week on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, we will discuss the Tigers' latest game against the Stags of Fairfield. Later, we'll honor the seniors on the team before looking ahead to the Tigers' next game against the Pride of Hofstra. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Lacrosse Report begins now. Hello, Tiger fans, and welcome to the Towson Sports Network studios for another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas. The Tigers traveled out to Fairfield, Connecticut, where they took on the Fairfield Stags for the first time in the two schools' histories. The Tigers knew this was a must-win game because it would claim first place in the CAA. The game came down to the wire as redshirt junior goalkeeper Tyler White kept the Stags at bay off of two clutch saves late in the fourth quarter. The Tigers would hold on to win 8-7. Let's take a look at the highlights against the Stags.
Left, comes up the right, throws it back up, top of the box to Neubauer. Neubauer back over, shot, score, Charlie Schneider. That's his 17th of the year. Back up top, work it to Mavis. Mavis from the left decider. To Drenner, back up top decider. 7 left on the penalty. Back over, Joe gonna shoot and scores. Along the ground, he stuck it through the legs of the goalkeeper, Barry. Second midfield out for the Tigers, Lynch, Conan, and McCarty. Here comes Lynch. He winds and shoots and scores. Top left-hand corner of the goal, and it's 2-1 Tigers. McDowell spins, stops, passes to his right to Fleming. Fleming on the far side, gets it to Federico. Federico down low, shot, and an easy goal there for Dave Fleming as he got a beautiful pass right on the crease. 5 on offense because Berkeley's kind of just standing here in the top right.
Yeah,
now he's finally able to run off. Drenner turns and shoots and scores. Ryan Drenner with his 13th goal of the game. Feed back up top as they work it to Rodriguez coming down the right. Bounces one and he scores, and it's 3-3. Back to his right. Comes down the right side. Feeds in front, turn, shot, score, Tigers, Max Siskin. 4-3 Towson. 4-3. McClendon starts from the bottom left. Feeds it up top. Sperry shoots and scores right over the right shoulder of Tyler White. Not much Tyler could do about that. Back up top to Mavis. Feeds to his right to Conan, inside Siskin, shoots and scores. Max with his second of the day, his 11th of the year, and it's 5-4 Towson.
5'6" and weighing 160 pounds, but the birthday boy comes up with another big play by the Tigers.
And he's got 2 goals today. McCarty turns, shoots, Bearing had it, lost it into the goal, and the Tigers score. 7-5, Ben McCarty. Brenner throws it top of the box to McCarty. Moving to his right. Feed it down the right. Turn, shot! Tyler Conan with the goal, and the Tigers lead 8-5 as Tyler comes up with his second of the year. They work it down the left. Get it to Sperry. Sperry out top. Wine, shot, and a goal by Jake Nostman, and it's 8-7.
Max Siskin led all players with 2 goals, both coming off assists from Spencer Parks. Ben McCarty, Ryan Drenner, and Justin Mavis each had 2 points in the victory with the goal and an assist. Joining me now, the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And Coach, late in the fourth quarter, you've got an 8-5 lead. The Stags cut it to 8-7, and then Tyler White did what he's been doing all year long.
Thankfully. There's no doubt about that. We didn't play great defense, I thought, all day, but Tyler was right there, especially from the second quarter on to stop, Fairfield and their push. Late in that fourth quarter, they had a nice look coming around the cage, and he was all over it. Watching the film, he was down, ready for that shot, before the guy even took the shot, and made a big stop, and we were able to clear it and kill the time.
Now, you say you didn't play well defensively all day, but you only gave up 7 goals. Many teams would kill to not play well defensively and give up 7 goals. Is that an indication of how good this defense is?
Or I think just some of the opportunities that Fairfield didn't capitalize on, whether it be shots that they took, missed looks on the crease that they didn't feed the ball into those guys when they were open, and different opportunities there. I thought it was more that Fairfield didn't capitalize more than like our defense, playing well enough to win, and they did. Our guys made a couple really nice plays, some timely double teams, turnovers at times. Tyler definitely, with 12 saves, helped out the cause, and our defense wasn't happy with their effort and the way things unfolded. So, our defense takes a lot of pride in what they do, and they know it wasn't our best game or anywhere close to that. So, they've been a little bit more focused this week.
All right, before the game, I joked with you in the pregame interview that you had the number 3 and the number 5 defenses in the country. It probably ended up being a 15-13 game. It didn't turn out that way, but at the end of the first quarter, it was 4-4, and it looked like it was heading that way. What was the difference in the final 3 quarters where there were only 7 goals scored total, where there were 8 goals scored in the first quarter?
I think both teams started to kind of settle down. Neither of us, we haven't played Fairfield since I've been here at Towson.
Ever.
And yeah, ever. So it's something that was new, for us as an opponent. And I think just the build-up, both teams being 2-0, it was for first place in the CAA to this point in the season. I think both teams came out, ready to take some swings, and we saw that. 4-4 at the end of the first quarter. And, things started to settle down after that, started to settle in, recognizing who your opponent was, trying to game plan a little bit, to tweak some things. And that was something that I think both teams did well, and, ended up being obviously what we expected, a close fought, 1-goal game.
And the Tigers now in first place all by themselves at 3-0. We've come to our first break. When we come back, we'll look at a special feature dedicated to the seniors on this talented men's lacrosse team. The Tiger Lacrosse Report, presented by Northwestern Mutual, with head coach Shawn Nadlen, will return right after these words.
Adams going to wide shoot and score his first goal of the year. Darius into the end zone, touchdown Tigers. Flag goes down, Drenner gets hammered and scores. Quinn back to throw, here comes a blitz, he's hit, down he goes. Sider shoots and he's got a hat trick.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
He got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it. Woo! Woo!
Congrats.
Errands makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I'm Spiro Morekas. Over the years, the Tigers have developed a core to be proud of. With 5 seniors, Towson's men's lacrosse team has plenty of leadership and experience to excel both on and off the field. Let's see what their head coach, Shawn Nadlen, has to say about his senior class.
Greg came in as a freshman and got some time on the field and minimal production, but really from his freshman year to sophomore year, we just saw him blossom as a player and really explode on the point side, but also the leadership and just being familiar within our team. And I think that played into him becoming a captain in his junior year, again being very productive, and then a captain again in his senior year. So Greg's been a great, obviously, part of our lacrosse over the past 4 years, but more so having a lasting impact, being a two-time captain for those future leaders that we're going to have, having him be one of those guys. Andrew came in as a highly touted recruit. He was a top 20 recruit coming out nationally, and he fit the billing when he came to Towson. He played and was immediate impact right away in his freshman year and continued to improve. He didn't have the best shooting percentage, but he worked at it, and he knew that he's a very competitive person, so he continued to work and he continued to want to get better. He stepped on the field on practice and you knew he was there. He's full of energy, flying around, loves to play the game, and it's something that we're missing, in the back half of his senior year due to injury, but it's something that he has been a huge part of our lacrosse program, probably one of the more complete midfielders we've had here in a long time, and Andrew has just been a great part of Towson lacrosse. Justin's a young man who kind of was trying to find his way his freshman year, played back and forth a little bit, ended up having a huge goal against Hofstra in double overtime, and I think that just kind of gave him the confidence to move forward. He's always had a positive outlook on himself, but also his role within the team. He's played a lot of minutes for us, basically from sophomore year on, being a starter within that first midfield group, and he's a young man that continues to get better, and we saw the biggest jump physically and maturity-wise in Justin from his junior to his senior year, and this year, he's really taken a step forward by becoming a captain, and the team really embracing who Justin is and how he relates to the team and what he's done for the program, and that's something that I think has a huge impact not only on where we are currently, but also I think for the years and the classes to come that Justin's been able to work with, to have those guys really see what he was about and how he developed over his 4 years here. JoJo came in and again was a really strong recruit, and his first year he didn't start his first game. We were down in Jacksonville, but we ended up making a move at halftime and starting him out down at close defense in the second half, and he solidified that at that point and stayed as a starter for the rest of his career here at Towson. An extremely consistent player, a guy that we could depend on to lock down usually the other team's best offensive player. Terrific off the ground, terrific in transition, really good IQ with the ball, and being able to really showcase his talents in many different ways as a defenseman for us, but also what it takes to be someone on the defensive end that can have a long-lasting career through effort, through working hard and being able to make things happen, from an unheralded position. Max has been one of my favorite guys to coach over the years. Wasn't really much of an impact guy through his first 3 years with us, but a terrific guy at practice, and that hard work and his love for the game of lacrosse has really shined through in the past couple of years with us. Last year he got on the field quite a bit and was a decent producer, and now as a senior he's just doing tremendous things, and his love for the game, his competitiveness as a lacrosse player has really helped our team be successful, not just on game day, but also in practice, because he goes hard in practice and he works hard, and there's nothing, he's the smallest guy on our roster, but he's the guy that plays the biggest and the hardest, and loves to compete, and is just a handful for any defensive guy to cover him. And being able to have Max with us and knowing that His father has been is a Hall of Fame member of Towson Lacrosse and athletics. To have Max follow in his footsteps and do so well, I couldn't be more proud of Max and more honored to have him be a part of our program.
Coming on the other side of this break, we'll preview the Tigers' next game against the Pride of Hofstra. We'll be back with the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual right after these words.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
He got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that. Yeah!
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I'm Spiro Morekas. The Tigers remain the last unbeaten team in the CAA after defeating Fairfield last week 8-7 up in Connecticut. This week they look to extend their conference dominance as they welcome the Pride of Hofstra here to Johnny Unitas Stadium for their last home game of the regular season. This Saturday's game is presented by Northwestern Mutual, with opening face-off starting at high noon. Hofstra in a bit of a slump. They've lost their last 3 games against Drexel, Marist, and Cornell, while the Tigers are still surging, winning their last 4 games. Now, Coach, Hofstra is a team that you know very well. You know their head coach, Seth Turney, very well. And when you look at them statistically, you've got Sam Lenardis and you've got Mike Maleve. They have combined for 56 of Hofstra's 120 goals. So obviously your defense starts there.
Absolutely. You know, being able to effectively limit those guys and their opportunities with the ball and opportunities to get shots off uncontested is something that we're going to focus on and make sure hopefully we execute come game day. Those 2 guys really allow their offense to run. Mike up top as a midfielder, Sam down low as an attackman and a good quarterback attackman. We got to be able to crowd those guys, not let them get comfortable and limit their opportunity.
Also, Chris Selva in the goal. Even though Hofstra's 4-7, he's saving 60% of shots, and he's only giving up a little bit over 8 goals a game. So he's a very talented guy in the cage.
He is. You know, he can be a guy that can get hot and give you some fits and some trouble. You know, they've played against Cornell. They brought in another kid to kind of give Selva a little bit of a break after, you know, it got out of control. But that's, you know, we got to be ready for either one.
You look at them. Face-off, they're one of the best face-off teams in the country, winning about 63%. Their numbers are not bad. How does a team have these statistics that look pretty good, but then you look at their record and they're 4-7?
It's tough, you know. It comes down to putting the ball in the back of the cage and then not letting the ball in. You know, there's statistics are good indicators, but you know, there's the game to be played around those as well. You could come out on top of face-off, on top of ground balls, and you know, get more shots than the other team. But if you're not efficient, you know, if you're not capitalizing on those possessions offensively, you know, you're not making the most of it. You know, and defensively, you could be playing a lot of defense. We felt that in 2013, but we had a great goalie, and he stopped a lot of the other team's offensive possessions and helped us, and defensively we hunkered down. So there's, statistics can, obviously look one way, but, the game's got to unfold, around that.
You also know that coming into this game, Hofstra is fighting for dear life. They have got to get a victory if they want to get into the CAA tournament. You guys, with a victory and a Drexel loss, will clinch first place in the CAA. So for both teams, a very, very important game. We know both teams going to be going 100% here.
Absolutely, and it's, above all, it's Towson Hofstra, which is always a battle, just like, Towson Delaware, being in the CAA and then kind of where we are in the position of the CAA right now with Hofstra, really needing this, and obviously we wanting to keep what we got going on moving forward and getting to that 4-0 in the CAA record. That's something that, our guys are, getting focused on and making sure that, we're dialing into Hofstra and knowing what they're about. And they're an extremely dangerous team. Like you said, their record doesn't show just how good they really are. And I hope that, they don't decide to put it all together on Saturday.
You guys coming in, and I wrote about this week on TowsonTigers.com. Since Andrew Hodgson got injured, a couple of games, it seemed like it took the midfield a while to adjust. But now, you're getting really good production out of your midfields.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just getting into the CAA and getting around more comfortable teams. It's those guys, the middies, I think Ben has taken a step back from how he came back from his earlier injury and really starting to play a little bit more level-headed and understanding of his opportunities and playing well there. Justin's starting to looking more comfortable out there on the field. Moving Spencer up to the midfield, obviously has helped some of that as well. And Cooch continues to make good, intelligent plays out there. Probably a little more hesitant shooting than we'd like him to be. We'd still want him to push the tempo and get his shots off. But those guys are doing well. Tyler Conan, converted attackman, now to midfield, scoring the game winner at Fairfield. All those guys are starting to chip in, and that just helps so much more.
You look at this season, and hard to believe that here we are. It's 12 games in already. I'll throw something out at you probably don't know, and probably don't really care, but it was interesting to me. This is the first Tiger team since 1969 to have played 12 games and only allowed double-digit goals in one of those first 12 games. So first time in the history in Division I that Towson has done that. You've been around the program for a long time now. How do you rank this defense as compared to some of the other teams that you've had here at Towson?
I'd say overall it's probably one of the more balanced and deepest, and I think that's what's helping us be strong in a lot of games. Obviously Tyler's been playing really well in cage, especially recently. And then we got experience at the close position with JoJo and Mike Lowe there. And then Cortez was playing well, he gets hurt, and Nick comes back, who started for us last year. So that speaks to our depth. We returned all of our defensive midfield personnel. So those guys all really starting to put it together, this year, I think is something that's allowed this team to be as strong as it has.
Saturday's game, a huge one. Towson could clinch the CAA regular season title if things break right in other games. We have to take one final break, but we will be back with more of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual right after this.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speed Form Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Strong can heal from miles away. Unite us for a common good. And turn a simple video into endless laughter. Strong can take you all the way to the summit.
So cool!
Blue. Think what Strong can do for you.
Can I play too? She asked.
AT&T's network now has the nation's strongest 4G LTE signal.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, and Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck against the Pride on Saturday.
Thanks, Spiro.
As we have mentioned, the Tigers will be playing their final home game of the regular season this Saturday at Johnny Unitas Stadium. Game time is noon as the Pride of Hofstra come in. This game is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Tickets are available by calling 1-855-TU-TIGER or online at TowsonTigers.com. If you can't make the game, you can follow all the action online and for free at TowsonTigers.com starting at 11:45 with the pregame show hosted by myself and Hunter Lochte. Also, fans, stick around after the game as we kick off football season with the annual Tiger Bowl spring game. The Tiger Bowl is open to the public, so bring your whole family out for a day of fun. Thanks for watching another episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual, and go Tigers!